We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The United Kingdom and several other countries backed Manila in its latest protest against the Chinese Coast Guard over a lacing incident in the Union Shoal. The British Embassy in Manila said the UK joins the Philippines in expressing serious concern following the intimidatory measures of China in the South China Sea. The UK also stood firm on its stance on the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS, noting that the 2016 arbitral decision is final and legally binding. Canada, Germany, and Denmark earlier expressed their concerns and urged China to comply with its commitments. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. earlier met with the Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Wang Chilian, in Malacanang to discuss the reported harassment by a Chinese Coast Guard ship. According to the Chinese embassy in Manila, Marcos and Wang exchanged ideas on how to implement the consensus between the two heads of state, increase discussion and communication, and correctly manage maritime concerns. The recent Social Weather Station survey result encourages President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. as it shows public support for the government programs. The chief executive said it is always encouraging to know that people understand what the administration is doing. While the president does not pay attention to surveys, he said they will just keep going and keep everybody informed about the government's activities. Based on the SWS survey conducted from December 10 to 14, Marcos' satisfaction ratings rose by 4 points from 71% in October 2022 to 70% in November. The resulting net satisfaction rating is plus 68, classified by SWS as very good, from 63 in October. The Philippines can be self-sufficient in rice production in 2 years if the government succeeds in reorganizing the Department of Agriculture and its attached agencies. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said the DA and NIA officials agreed on a timeline of steps that need to be taken to achieve self-sufficiency. However, he noted that it requires cooperation, convergence, and coordination with other agencies, including the Department of Public Works and Highways and the National Economic and Development Authority. Earlier, Marcos called for a program that will promote the planting of hybrid rice to help increase crop production in the country. Other strategies include convincing irrigators and farmers to plant hybrid rice seeds, adopting alternate wetting and drying technology for irrigated lands, harvesting in September during the wet season, and returning after harvesting during the wet season.
And sa aming calculation, kung magawa natin lahat ng kailangan gawin, at marami-rami ito kasi marami tayong kailangan ayusin, marami tayong i-reorganize. Pero kung magawa natin lahat yan, we will be close to self-sufficiency for rice in 2 years. So, yun ang ginagawa namin sa DA ngayon, and that it requires the cooperation, the convergence, the coordination with other agencies.
Work and classes have been canceled in Masbate following the magnitude 6 earthquake that struck Batuan earlier today. OCD spokesperson Assistant Secretary Bernardo Rafaelito Alejandro IV said the quake disrupted the supply of electricity for the entire province of Masbate and Ticao Island. The tremor also prompted the Masbate Provincial Hospital to shift their patients to outdoor tents as regular operating procedure. As of now, no major damage has been recorded. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology Seismology, Masbate City experienced intensity 7, intensity 5 in Dimasalang, San Fernando and Luzon, intensity 4 in Legazpi City, Albay, Aroroy, Cataingan, Esperanza, Milagros, and Pio V. Corpus in Masbate, and Irosin and Sorsogon City in Sorsogon. And intensity 3 in Daraga Albay. FIVOC said damage and aftershocks are expected from the earthquake. That's the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We're also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office and Radyo Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I'm Stephanie Civiliano with all stories that inspire change.